This December 2025 meeting of the North Liberty Library Board of Trustees to order. First item on the agenda is public comment. Seeing no one in the gallery, move to the second item, approval of minutes from November. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes from November?
A motion to approve the meetings from November.
Do I
I
have,
second.
all in favor say aye.
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 Aye. All opposed say nay. Hearing no nays, the minutes from the November meeting are approved. Next item on the agenda is the library director report.
All right, so budget. We are, as always, sitting really pretty well, and with the top heavy on some of the things that we pay up front. I don't think I have a heck of a lot just with the monthly budget, but I will say that we had our budget meeting with the city administrator. I had my budget meeting with the city administrator and assistant city administrator a couple weeks ago. That looks promising for just being approved as it is. I would say the main couple things, and I think I've already mentioned them before, was that I requested money for about 20 extra hours for part-timers. We don't know if that's going to be adding another person or if it's just being able to bump up hours for some of our folks that come in. It seems like there's always times where we need more staff. And we're trying to, it's funny that we just keep finding ways to kind of piece that together and get some, we've found that having more part-timers during the day has been really helpful, but there aren't a lot of them who are available during the day, so maybe hiring someone else. I've also explored with the rec center just possibly sharing some of their part-time frontline staff since they'd already be on the books. And with our new software as they transition more of the HR is transitioning more to the financial software, there's also components for scheduling and timekeeping. And so that will allow us to just select a position. So someone can be moved from a library assistant 1 to a library assistant 2. And I'm assuming then outside the department, they can move between departments as well, in case pay is different and things like that, and to know what budget line to take it out of. So it should be pretty easy to do that. I just haven't had a chance to discuss it more fully with our human resources folks yet. The other couple of things I asked for was money to do a new story walk in the Centennial Park, and that basically they said that could come from hotel motel tax funds. So it sounds like that will be promising. So those are the two main bigger things that mostly I try to keep, knowing that we're going to see harder and harder times for cities. I just try to keep a fairly flat budget with just small increases based on cost of living and things and changes in costs that we're seeing. Does anyone have any questions about budgeting? The budget.
So will you be keeping the story walk over here by the pond and then adding it in?
Adding a second one. We're hoping at Centennial. That has not been, that was a suggestion of a couple different people. But Emily will talk more with parks to see what would work best for them. There is also a new company that has story walks, new signage that's much better and less wieldy. It's almost like magnetic, that it just flips and but with a lock. Based on the ones that we have now, take about 2 hours to undo and put the things in and put them back together in order to make them work. But the new ones, it sounds like they'll be really slick and easy to use. They're not cheap. It's about $14,000 for 26 panels or 22 panels, however many Emily asked for. Eluding me right now, but once they're in place, they're good to go. So it should be pretty fun.
That's a great idea.
Any other questions? Okay. I can move on. I did include the service policy in this packet that we can talk about during the policy updates, but I just will kind of give you a recap here, and that is Andrew and I were discussing checkout periods. We currently have a DVD checkout for a week, television series checks out for 2 weeks, cake pans check out for a week, and other materials check out for 3 weeks. And a newer card holder, checked out a cake pan, or a DVD, a television series, and a book. And then emailed me and said, hey, I don't think my stuff should be due yet. I just checked it out a couple days ago. So I looked, and she had 3 different due dates on 3 items. So I had to email her back, and as I'm trying to explain to her these different things, I was like, we used to have DVDs were the most popular thing we had, and they're not even close now. They're probably something that'll phase out in the next few years. So Andrew and I just discussed it and decided it might just be worthwhile to have everything be a 3-week checkout, so that there's consistency. People aren't confused by the due dates. And then when we get like any new materials in, we'll have to reassess. But I think for now it works well with what we have. So that is the only change in that policy that you'll see when it comes up. And honestly, it's much better there too, because I really don't like listing things out in policy. I didn't even realize it was in there like that. So this just basically says all materials are 3-week checkout, making it a little bit simpler.
Would you mind speaking up just a little bit? I'm having a hard
Yes,
time
I'm sorry.
hearing.
And I think I think they told me last time I needed to put this closer
these
to
are-
me. So I'll
Thank you
try
so
that too.
Now I can hear you.
So we did have issues with the doors. I don't remember if that was before. It was suggested that we have the specific part that was like several $1,000s replaced, and it would mean like cutting into the door frame and adding this new gears, or I don't know what they were, that would change the way the doors were done. And then I have to get 2 quotes for everything, and it's really difficult sometimes to find a company that'll do a different quote. When we called the people who do our security, our access, and he said, well, I could call them, or you could just take me out as the middleman, and you could call them yourself. And he gave me the name of the locksmith that they use out of the Quad Cities, and I called them, and he said, well, he already sent me pictures of your doors, and I think it's a much easier, quicker fix than what you're looking at. And he quoted me under $1,000 to do 4 doors, all the rec center and the library doors, versus like $4,000 from our other quotes. So we were able to get it done very inexpensively, and just had to wait a couple days. But the rec center also had the same problem happen at the same time. So we literally had 1 door, the north door into the building was the only one that we were able to access without a physical key. So it was a little bit scary for a few days. So that's exciting.
Nobody lose the key.
Right. And there's only a few people that still have keys, so we were just mostly having people had to go around to the back door to get in. So building, everything's been going on with the building. We also had somebody came back and said, hey, both bathrooms are backed up. Sewage is coming up out of the flooring. So that was, Mark said, our maintenance person for the building said, it's never good when I have to get the hose out. So that backup caused our restrooms to be closed for just half of a day. They were really quick to get in and get the fix done on it. But and then I was at a recent event where someone who was attending the event at Iowa City Public Library, they noticed that there were bed bugs from this person falling off. Iowa City handled the situation very well, with dignity for this person, whispered to them, got them to come out of the room, and got the area kind of just separated off. And afterward, we were all talking about it, and we've never done bed bug prevention or anything. So they were saying, do you use a bed bug dog? Well, both Corville and Iowa City do. So then we started talking about what that might look like. And I think we're going to, talking to Shelley, we're going to get a quote for the entire building and have a bed bug dog come in quarterly. The bed bug dog that they had is apparently either gone or retired. So there's a new bed bug dog in town who sounds like he's a very hyper dog. But it sounds like there's another bed bug dog that will either be coming soon or something. It's a very specialized thing.
So like a real dog.
A dog.
Okay,
They come in and they
I
sniff
thought
out.
maybe
Dog, but
it's like a Roomba thing, that I'm not
They come in and sniff out, but bed bugs are really hard to eradicate once you have them. So, prevention rather than mitigation is. And once I started talking with the other, city administrator and our maintenance guy and the rec director, we were all just like, yeah, let's
we should probably, as we have grown a lot, and we share a lot of patrons between all three of us. And that bed bug, Doug has found bed bugs at the other libraries where they've been able to kind of get it. And Corville has the bed bug tent, the heat tent that works to kind of mitigate them. If something were to happen, we'd be able to borrow that, I think, or, pay a fee to borrow it. I think they just loan it to us, but because since they already have it in place. But so that was fun. And I skipped over the floor scrubber. So just noting that we do not have a floor scrubber in the library anymore. The rec has a big one that is a writing one that no one in the library is going to use. Try to get on, and then they have a smaller one, but it's kept down at the pool. So just not super accessible for us. So I am going to purchase a floor scrubber. I actually got approval for that today. In talking with Ryan, if you were in there today, it was driving me crazy. There was the ice melt tracks everywhere. The whole hallway was just covered in them, and it's just, with the snows we've had, I would like to learn how to use it myself and have a couple other staff use it so that we can keep it kind of down during the day. I vacuumed this morning. And as I was vacuuming, people were tracking in more ice melt, and I was just like, oh. So I just tried not to go out there today. There was nothing to be done. But hopefully within the next few weeks, we will have a new floor scrubber that will help mitigate some of that mess on the floor. And then I'm really excited to talk to you guys about Palace Project. Palace is a group it's a project out of a company called Lyrasis. It is simultaneous access ebooks and e-audios that will allow us to expand our ebooks and e-audio collection quite a bit. The other great part, so not only is it can be used by more than one person, they negotiate with a lot of independent publishers. So it will add a different flair to our ebooks and things for a lot of titles. So they'll have an indie author. They have an indie author project. So we're going to sign up for their bundle, which includes, it integrates with Overdrive. So anybody who wants they can still just go to Overdrive, or they can go in Palace and see all of it. They can see the Palace items plus Overdrive in Palace. So we'll be rolling that out in the next few months. We'll probably be starting in January. I was hoping that Iowa City and Corville and the rest of the libraries in Johnson County would be interested. Right now, they are all sort of hesitant, so we will be the model and see how it goes. They also have a lot of Spanish titles, which I think will be nice, and simultaneous use audios as well. So I'm pretty excited. Then on top of it, we can also purchase. They do have popular items too, so we'll be able to purchase there and supplement what we already have. So that will be coming. Starting in January. And then the only other things I have is the Community Impact Report, which is in the packet for you guys to take a look at. I thought Melanie did just a great job, just very simple, just some numbers to show people the crazy amounts of programming and things we're doing. I'm super excited, particularly programs. It's just dynamite to see, and the collection. Andrew, every time he shows me the data that's going on, everything is increasing, including teen, which he was really excited about. So that's pretty cool to see the numbers. We had 1,665 new patrons this last year. So pretty cool. I just asked him for that number the other day. Legislative reception was December 1st. It was pretty darn cold. We did have 25 people come out, including Scott Kramer. So thank you to Scott. And our newest council member, Tanya Fortney, who is starting in January. I extended an invitation to Tanya, and she came. And I thought that was really great. Tanya runs the mobile home parks here and is really excited, I think, to work with us more to get the book bike to the parks. And Nick's very excited to work with her as well. She's also working, she told me today that she's working on a food pantry for the parks and has already gotten a lot of donations. So she's trying to just make it a more welcoming place. She wants some art there. So lots of different areas where we might partner and work together, I think. And then we had 3 part-time staff come to our legislative reception as well, which was really exciting. I don't know that I've ever had my part-timers there. I extended that invitation, and a few of them took us up on it. One of them is also a Oxford Public Library trustee, so she was there wearing 2 hats, but that was really great. And the Friends Cookie Walk, I just have to tell you, they increased their price this year to $10. The first time they've had a price increase in years, and they made over $2,000 this year in Cookie Walk stuff. So really good cookie sale.
I have a question on the collections piece.
Yeah.
So it referenced here the Baker and Taylor. We talked about it at the last meeting. Has there been an update on kind of how that will, like, is there a company that's stepping in? I know you were looking at different things. I didn't.
Right now, we are using Amazon, and that seems to be going pretty well. The one thing that is the biggest drawback is that we are getting hundreds of packages every month because they package 1 or 2 books in a box, as opposed to, and so that's a lot of processing of invoices as well, because where Baker and Taylor just collected all the invoices and sent a statement at the end of the month for us to pay, they send an invoice every time they send the books. So it's a little bit different, but it hasn't been unwieldy so far. There are some other companies. I just don't know that Anders even really had time to explore them. And a lot of them were taking a lot of new clients on all at the same time. So I think he's sort of just writing it out for a little bit until things settle down in that world. And then I think he'll probably go back. Ingram is probably the biggest contender for us. They are the most like Baker and Taylor. They just have they don't have the same efficiencies. Their website is not nearly as easy to use and as intuitive, but I think that's probably the one we'll end up going to, unless he decides that Amazon's just working. Amazon was offering, so they called us. They called a lot of libraries. They were really courting the idea of being a library sales thing. They just don't have it down yet. I think if we give them some time, they might. They were offering, sometimes we were getting 60% off titles, so we were saving a lot of money. I don't know if that's still the case. I haven't talked much with Andrew about it, but they're pretty good competitive compared to Baker and Taylor. They did offer a library account, and we're just fortunate that we already had a city account, so it worked out well. But so far, and he was already supplementing from them anyway, so it has been for us pretty seamless. The biggest thing is that we have to process all of our own stuff now, so we have to have staff to do that, where Baker and Taylor did a lot of the processing pieces for us. They had the Mylar already on the jackets on the hard-covered books in a lot of probably 60% of our books came already done. But we have 2 part-timers who work during the day who are really diligent and just kind of jump in and help out. And then our other part-timers are all cross-trained to do it as well. So there's a rotation in the evenings where they are out at the desk, they're processing or they're checking in and getting stuff done. So it works pretty well. So far, so good. And Andrew was, as you can see, he said that he was worried that he might see some drops because we're not getting books quite as quickly. The new titles where before we'd have them before they were actually out, and we'd have to say we won't put this out until it's published. That's not happening anymore. But I think it's actually maybe people are finding different reads and doing a little bit more browsing because of that. So it might be actually kind of a positive in the long run. And then it did jump. I didn't realize it jumped down a whole page with our, that did not look like that when I made it, but all the circulation trends that you can see on here. Felt like there was something else I was going to point out in the board reports. Sorry, I'll take a look. We are working through a new website, and it is getting close to being. They're working through content right now, so it's getting there. I don't know what the timeline is right now for them, but they're doing well. So that is all I have.
Next item on the agenda is policy review.
All right. So the library access and sex offenders policy is really one that is just more for us to have on the docket for just our own information. It is not something that we typically are going to change because it's written by our city attorney, but we always, I like having them updated. As you all may be aware, I've probably said before, it is not the requirement of the state. We only have to have them updated once every 3 years. I think it just makes sense to look at them every year and make sure that they're all following our standards of what we think is important and necessary. So I think, I mean, I didn't see anything as far as like edits, so I think we're good, but anybody else has anything to say or saw anything, let me know. And then as mentioned, the service policy, you just see under the item 6, use of library materials, the checkout period is 3 weeks, where that used to list them all out.
Do I have a motion to approve the service policy?
I move, oh, go ahead. I move to approve.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed say nay. Hearing no nays, the policy is approved. Next item on the agenda, typically this Library Board of Trustees meeting is on the third Monday of each month. In January, the third Monday is the birthday of civil rights leader Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. So there is the recommendation that the meeting be moved to the following Monday, the 26th. Do I have
Does that work for folks?
a motion to move to the 26th?
So moved.
And do I have a second?
A second?
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed say nay. Hearing no nays, that change is approved.
I think that's actually nice because we don't have a February meeting, so it puts us a little closer to the, that may just be something we might want to plan on for every year going forth.
Because it's always going to
Yes, it's always going to land that way.
conflict.
So, all right.
And the next item is new business. Do we have any new business? Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.